Let's get one thing straight right from the beginning. This is not a how-to guide. This is not a playbook for you to go out and use. I want you to think of this as a warning label, the kind you'd find on a very, very powerful psychological substance. We are going to take apart the mechanics of seduction, piece by piece. Not so you can master them, but so you can recognize them when they're being used on you. Because in this game, understanding the rules is the only real way to avoid becoming a pawn.
So the first thing we absolutely have to do is tear down the biggest myth out there. Seduction is not about having a perfect face, or the right body, or any of that. True, masterful seduction completely bypasses our eyes, and it makes a direct assault on our mind. It's a sophisticated art form that operates through psychological influence. It creates this atmosphere of enchantment, of doubt, of uncertainty. And here's the real trap, the part you have to hear. If you think you're immune to this stuff because you're not easily swayed by good looks, well, you might just be the most vulnerable target of all.
To even begin to understand this, you have to get inside the head of the person playing the game. You have to understand the mindset of the amoral player. Now, amoral doesn't mean evil, not exactly. It's different from immoral. It means operating in a space where morality just doesn't apply. It's like seeing seduction as a form of theater. And on that stage, the normal rules of right and wrong are suspended for the sake of the performance. The only thing that matters is achieving the goal. This is a profoundly dangerous way to think, you see, because it gives someone permission to do things that are deeply manipulative, like faking sincerity or orchestrating emotions, all without a second thought. Really grasping this concept is the key to seeing through everything that comes next.
And really, that's why we're here, isn't it? These strategies, these laws we're about to break down, they tap into very deep, very primal psychological triggers that we all have. And make no mistake, they are being used. They're being used in dating, in business, and politics. So the real question isn't whether you want to play this game or not. The game is already being played all around you. The question is, are you prepared to see the moves? Are you ready to recognize the tactics when they're aimed at you? Learning these rules is your defense. It's how you see the hidden architecture of influence and protect your own mind. So, let's begin.
All right, our first law. The name itself sounds aggressive, doesn't it? Ambush the heart. And it is, but not physically. We're talking about a psychological ambush. This is about a guerrilla war of the mind. It means throwing out all the predictable, cliché moves. No flowers, no cheesy lines, none of that. Instead, the approach is designed to be swift, surprising, and to keep the target completely and utterly off balance. It's not a courtship, it's a mental siege.
So how does someone actually pull off this mental ambush? Well, it starts by weaponizing unpredictability. You see, our brains are wired to find patterns. We crave them. It makes us feel safe and in control. The seducer knows this, and they intentionally shatter those patterns. One day, they're warm, attentive, almost overwhelming. The next, cool, distant, preoccupied. This push and pull creates confusion and forces you to think about them constantly. Then, just when you're disoriented, comes the surprise, the ambush itself. An unexpected compliment about something you thought no one noticed. A small, thoughtful gift that proves they were listening days ago. It's a jolt to the system. It shocks the heart and forces you to reevaluate everything. Finally, they maintain the suspense. The second you think you know what they'll do next, the spell is broken. The goal is to create a constant, low-grade tension of what's next, which effectively short-circuits your rational brain and makes them the sole focus of your attention.
And right here, you can see the razor's edge of this whole tactic. The allure is incredibly powerful. When it works, life with this person feels like a thrill ride. It's exciting, it's fascinating, it's never boring. But the danger is immense. Because those exact same tactics, if they're pushed just a little too far or used for too long, they stop feeling thrilling. They start to feel chaotic, unstable. The constant up and down leads to emotional exhaustion. You start to feel unsafe, like you're constantly walking on eggshells. That delightful surprise curdles into fear and anxiety. The line between fascination and fear is terrifyingly thin. That's your first major warning sign.
This brings us to law number 2. And honestly, this might be the most insidious strategy of them all, the virtue veil. Why? Because it weaponizes trust itself. To balance out the cold, calculating nature of their mission, the seducer projects the complete opposite on the outside.
They wrap themselves in a performance of goodness, of honor, of high moral character. And we have to keep coming back to that core mindset, don't we? All is fair. Morality never enters the picture. This is the chilling philosophy that's hiding just behind the performance of kindness and integrity. That contrast is the whole point. The virtue veil isn't about being a good person. It's about appearing to be a good person, specifically to disarm our natural skepticism. It is a cloak of righteousness used to hide a dagger of intent.
The application of this is pure theater. First, they project virtue. They might talk eloquently about philosophy, or seem deeply concerned with charity, or act with a kind of noble restraint. This has one purpose: to disarm suspicion. They make you feel morally secure with them. You start to think, this person is different. They're one of the good ones. I can let my guard down. And the moment you do, that's when they advance, quietly. Underneath this beautiful cloak of integrity, they can plant ideas, use subtle charms, and move their plans forward, all while you believe you're perfectly safe.
It's easy to see the allure here, right? We are naturally drawn to people we admire. A connection that feels like it's built on shared values and integrity feels incredibly safe and incredibly strong. But the danger is catastrophic. Think about it. There's almost no figure more despised than a false saint, a hypocrite. And when that mask of virtue inevitably slips, and it almost always does, the reaction isn't just disappointment, it's revulsion. It's a feeling of being utterly betrayed. And all that trust and admiration that they worked so hard to build, it becomes the fuel for an even greater fire of hatred and contempt. This leads us right into law number 3, which plays on one of the most basic principles of human psychology. Scarcity creates value. The hunger of absence is the art of strategic withdrawal. It's built on a simple, universal truth. Whatever is always available, always there, is eventually taken for granted. To create and maintain desire, you have to cultivate a little bit of mystery. You have to make yourself scarce. And this idea is not new. Let's look at the famous 17th century courtesan Ninon de l'Enclos. She was a master of this game and understood it intimately. She knew that totally giving in, giving someone everything they think they want, is actually the fastest way to destroy their desire. It kills the thrill of the chase, the excitement of the unknown. Her experience taught her a timeless lesson. To keep desire alive, you must always hold something back. Her words are a stark warning against making yourself or your affection seem too easy to obtain.
So the playbook here is all about controlled restraint. First, cultivate mystery. Don't be an open book. Don't reveal all your thoughts and feelings at once. Second, you limit your availability. You have your own life. You're busy. You have your own passions. These planned absences send a powerful message. My time and my presence are valuable. Finally, you withhold strategically. When you are with the person, you are fully present, magnetic. But then you let the moment end. You pull back. This leaves the other person on a high, always wanting more, turning your presence from something that's just a given into a prize to be treasured.
And once again, we're back on that razor's edge. The allure is obvious, a state of perpetual desire. It's the old idea that absence makes the heart grow fonder. It keeps curiosity alive. But wow, the danger here is huge. The line between an alluring, mysterious distance and just plain cold indifference is incredibly thin. An absence that's too long, or too cold, or unexplained, it doesn't feel mysterious anymore. It feels cruel. It feels like a game. It breeds resentment and makes the target feel manipulated and ignored. This isn't just playing hard to get, it's playing with emotional fire. Okay, we've arrived at our final law. And you could make a very strong argument that this is the most sophisticated and maybe the most powerful of them all. Flatter the mind. While the other laws create tension, surprise, and distance, this one builds a deep, intoxicating kind of connection. It operates on a simple premise. Physical beauty might attract the eye, but it's the ego that truly gets hooked. Seducing a person's intellect, that's the masterstroke. Look at this. We all tend to think seduction is about looks, about physical attraction, but that's just the opening act. It's only about 20% of the equation. The real show, the main event where 80% of the action happens, is in the ego. We all have this deep, deep need to feel valued for our thoughts, for our character, for our wit. Physical compliments are nice, but they're fleeting.
When someone makes us feel that we are uniquely intelligent, that we are truly understood on a mental level, they become almost irresistible. It is a far, far more potent form of attraction.
So the execution of this masterstroke is very subtle. It's not about empty flattery like, "Oh, you're so smart." Anyone can see through that. No, it's about showing genuine, rapt interest in what they think. It's about validating their character, their unique way of seeing the world. A simple phrase like, "Wow, I have never thought of it that way before," can be incredibly powerful. It makes a person feel seen. The ultimate goal is to create this feeling of mental affinity, this thrilling sense that you, and only you, truly see and appreciate the treasure that is their mind.
But even this elevated, sophisticated tactic has a dark side. The allure is a profound intellectual bond, that incredible feeling of being truly understood. But if the interest feels fake, if the flattery seems insincere for even a second, it backfires spectacularly. It doesn't feel validating, it feels patronizing, condescending. It creates this hollow illusion of intimacy that's as fragile as glass. It's a connection built not on genuine care, but on ego, and it's destined to shatter under the slightest pressure.
So, after walking through these 4 powerful laws, the ambush, the veil, the absence, and the ego, we arrive at the final, most crucial takeaway. This is no longer about strategy. This is about consequences. Each one of these laws taps into deep, vulnerable, and fundamental parts of the human psyche. And wielding that kind of power over another person comes with profound ethical risks and the potential for incredible damage.
This is the price of admission. This is the bill that comes due. This is not a victimless game. When these tactics are used carelessly or without empathy, they wound hearts in ways that can take years to heal. They destroy reputations, both the target's and eventually your own. And here's the ultimate irony. The detached, amoral player who treats human connection like a game of chess almost always ends up profoundly and truly lonely. And the things you do, the pain you cause, it doesn't just go away. It can stick with you. It can haunt you. The power is real, but the price is just as real.
And so we end here. I have to leave you with the very question this entire explainer was designed to raise. Now that you can see the mechanics, now that you understand the psychology of surprise, of virtue, of absence, of the ego, you have a new responsibility. And that is to ask yourself, where's the line? Where's the line between charming influence and calculated injury? Between genuine connection and outright manipulation? I can't give you an easy answer. No one can. But simply being aware that the line exists and knowing that crossing it has a terrible cost, that awareness is the most powerful defense you will ever have